What's up, everybody? It's that guy, Skimpy. Okay, so we're going to start a new thing. What we're going to do is we're going to start interviewing all different kind of bait makers, whether it be, lead, jigs, soft plastics, if you're going to be airbrushing, if you're going to be making your own molds, anything that has to do with anything bait making, man. We're going to call it Tackle Talk with Skimp. Here we go. Oh my God! Look at it! Vinco mold. This is the 5-inch one. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it. First question: what is your name and where are you from?
So I'm Tristan Smith. We're from the Tri-Cities, Washington, and I'm with PNW Bass Candy.
Okay. So where can we find you? Like on what social media platforms, and do you have a website and all that?
Yeah, so our website's just pnwbasscandy.com, and then we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. It's all at PNW Bass Candy.
Perfect. Easy to find. All right. Question number 3. How long have you been fishing? Mostly just bass fishing, we'll just say.
Yeah, so pretty much fishing as long as I can remember. But bass fishing, I really got into it about 9 years ago, right around high school and stuff. And then we've just been going really, really hard for the last 7 years, getting into knowledgeable about bass fishing and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Okay, question number 4. Would you rather fish for largemouth or smallmouth bass? And bonus question, what is your PB?
So being around here with the rivers and stuff that we have, a lot of people are probably not going to like my answer, but I'm going with largemouth, and my PB was a 6.2 that I just caught pretty recently, about a month ago or so.
Which you just posted. If you want to see it, go to his Instagram because it's a pic.
Yeah, that was a good fish, man. I was stoked about that one.
Yes, sir. Can we talk about what you caught it on?
Yeah, so we actually caught it on our top seller, which is our faded gill, but we caught it in our new Rattler DS. So it's a Chatterblade bait, but it's in our Desert Scorpion head.
Awesome. And yes, I've seen those too, and those things look sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what got you started in making your own baits? Why did you start?
So back when COVID hit, there was a lot of stuff that we just could not find in the market, in our local tackle shops and all that kind of stuff. They were kind of just wiped out. And so we kind of like, let's look into bait making, And so we started looking into it. I mean, my first mold was some $30 mold off Amazon. And I started producing those with a crappy injector, a little microwave and all that stuff. And, one of my buddies hit me up one day on, I think it was Snapchat or something, was like, hey, man, can I buy some of those?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, sure. And that sparked the fuel, man. I mean, I started going crazy after that. I got so many new molds, it was insane.
It definitely gets addicting because once you figure out, hey, I can make this bait and it works and you catch all the fish on it and you get all that confidence, man, what else can I buy? What else can I make, man? So I definitely know it gets addicting quick.
Oh, yeah.
Question number 6. What is your favorite bait to make? And it can be the type of bait or it can even be color. So what is your favorite thing to make?
So my favorite to make, I mean, there's so many out there, but my favorite's got to be our Bass Squatch 6 that we make. It's our big 6-inch swim bait.
Awesome.
And there's so much. The reason I like it so much and like making it is just the creativity that goes into the bait. There's so much you can do with this rather than just a simple stick bait or a swim bait or something. You can do so much with this color, and like J.R. Rowlands, Joffrey does kayak fishing, Ripper Lips Sanchez, those guys have caught some monster fish on this bait. And it's just proved that you could take it from just a simple perch pattern like this and just go to the extremes with it, and it doesn't have to be a simple, black and blue or PB&J. You can do crazy stuff with it.
Absolutely. And that bait looks awesome. Is that your favorite color with that bait?
You know, I really like the perch pattern for sure. But I've really started liking the this is the snow days that I do. It's got a green and blue highlight in the plastic, and I've really started to like this color a lot too, for sure.
Okay, question number 7. What bait or colors do you hate to make? And I have a good answer for mine.
When you sent me this question, I saw it for the first time. I knew this one was going to be one of those back and forth. But green pumpkin has to be my least favorite to pour by itself. Like I don't think right now you can find a single straight green pumpkin on our website.
Yeah.
Because I like doing like a green pumpkin June bug or a green pumpkin grape where it's a laminate and it just has so much more flash to it and stuff like that. When, you know, green pumpkin has its place, don't get me wrong, but I just like taking it up a level, you know, adding different stuff to it.
Yep. And I know we talked about that. The green pumpkin that I like a little bit flashy. Matter of fact, I kind of call it my Bass Candy, believe it or not. But it's,
right.
You know, I put, you know, a little bit of blue flake, a little bit of purple flake, a little bit of green flake, and a little bit of black flake. And I know it sounds extremely busy, but if you just put a tiny bit of each of those colors in there, just like a little bit, I'm telling you, it makes an awesome bait. A lot of confidence in that bait. But I'm going to tell you,
yeah, for sure.
I'm going to tell you the bait that I hate making, and it's not necessarily the bait, it's the color. I hate making anything white because one little contaminant, next thing you know, you have a yellow bait, you have a black bait, you have a red bait. I mean, it's just like any little tiny little thing. Like you get something on your glove and then it touches it, or something in your injector, something in your cup, something in your mold. So I hate making white. I hate making white. Anyways, let's go to the next question.
100%.
Yeah. All right. So, question number 8 is, what's some good advice for somebody who wants to start making baits?
So, number one thing that I've always told a lot of people, you know, I watch a lot of TikTok of guys starting up their companies, and I've seen them on Facebook and Instagram reels of guys doing business. Number one has to be invest in high quality gear and safety protection.
Yeah.
You know, just like anything else, you have to have the quality gear to make some good baits. Yeah. I mean, you could do it with the stone molds. I've done that in the past. You know, that was what I started out with. But having high quality protection and molds keeps you from having problems with the baits and keeps you protected yourself from having any issues, burning yourself. I mean, you're dealing with 300 degree and up plastic. You know, you don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I always say, always wear eye protection because you only get one set of eyes, man.
Exactly. You know, and I mean, I've always told people, it's like, getting into the business, it's so cool because there's very little things in this world that come to the point of like having someone else catch fish with your gear. I mean, that's awesome. So get into it if you can. You got the time and the money, invest into it the right way.
All right. So is there anything special that you've been working on? And can you show me some of your best-selling baits?
So there's 2 new things that I can't show yet, but those will be released. So I'm going to plug myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Text and email subscribers on our website will get first dibs at our new products. So we have 2 new things that are going to come out. Instagram kind of stays behind in the loop when we bring out new products. So 2 new things, those will come later. But let me just show off. I kind of showed them off a little bit. The trout doesn't have eyes on it yet, but we got our 3 that I love the most, which are rainbow trout, bass squatch, the snow days, and the perch. You know, our big 6-inch swim bait. Like I plugged those guys already, but they've been fantastic with their companies. J.R. Rowlands, Rip and Lip Stitches, and Joffrey does kayak fishing on Instagram. You know, those guys have done some fantastic work catching some monster fish with those baits. You know, and then I don't want to take away from Dan. You know, he does all my jigs. He's PNW Fishing and Adventures on Instagram. You know, we have our perch Desert Scorpion, which is one of our top sellers.
Love it.
And then by far our biggest fish producer, you know, the most fish that we've ever caught is on the Faded Gill Desert Scorpion as well.
So awesome.
You know, these swim jigs are just killer.
Okay, so the last question: if you can fish with anybody dead or alive, who would it be?
So you sent me this question over, and I think there's so much deep digging you could get into this. You know, there's out there in the world, there's so many people dead or alive. But when you first sent it to me, I saw it. The first thing that sparked in my head was the man from the Pacific Northwest, which is Brandon Polinick.
Yeah,
BP. After watching him perform down there, catching over 100 pounds, I was just like, that was insane. We met him up here at Nixon's Marine up in Tri-Cities, and you know, I think it'd be awesome to jump on the boat with PP for sure.
Yes, sir. Well, that's the 10 questions I have. And I noticed your shirt, and I seen them on the website, but that's a new shirt, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is the new, it's our Smalley UV protection. It's got rip, reel, repeat down the sleeve. And that's got our Smalley tree logo that has PNW Bass Candy in the center of it.
So awesome. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on here. Like we talked before, you know, we're trying to just make these videos, you know, 10, 15 minutes, because anything beyond that, people lose interest and they stop watching. So we figure we're going to try to just keep it around that. But, man, you got anything to add before I let you go? Any shout outs, anything? Oh, big shout out to Dan, man. What's up, Dan?
Big shout out to Dan. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be where we're at right now for sure.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Dan. Next time we'll have to get him on. You know, he can come chill by me for sure.
For sure.
But you know, big shout out to you. Big shout out to World's Worst Fishing. You know, both of you guys were instrumental in kind of our start to, you know, soft plastics and jigs. I mean, you know, the videos you put out, your YouTube channel and stuff like that. So, you know, big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to Dan. You know, and big shout out to all our ambassadors. You know, I mentioned a couple of those guys already.
Yeah.
You know, they've supported us along the way. They've, you know, Rip and Lip Sanchez, he's been with us from the start. Joffrey, JR, all those guys have been just busting their butt. The Real River on Instagram. You know, there's Killer Fishing, Yak and Sign Fishing. I could keep going. Jason Valentin, all those guys have been instrumental in our success and, you know, helping us out and grind it out. So, you know, that's much appreciated. Much appreciation to you for having me on, man. I always appreciate that for sure.
Hey, no worries. All right. Well, that's the show. Hopefully you guys like it, man. Big shout out to, oh, we got to go this way. My camera's backwards. Big shout out to PNW Bass Candy. I appreciate you guys watching. That guy's Skimpy. And cut.